Hello, I am the Dungeon Tutor. Welcome. Since 2016, I've been answering your questions, giving advice and inspiration to countless gamers. Here, you can ask questions in the comments and get your own videos as an answer. So I encourage you, enjoy by all means, but come back to visit with your friend, the Dungeon Tutor. Hello friends, I am the Dungeon Tutor. Welcome. Today is RPGaDay number 23? We're coming along at a pretty good pace, and with this, the 23rd day, it's a topic recent. Now, a lot of things are happening right now. Recent, in game terms, stretches all the way back 50 plus years ago. 51 years ago. In role-playing games, we have the first role-playing game, Dungeons & Dragons, in its first edition. And over that time, we've seen a lot of changes, a lot of new things. Companies rise and fall. We've seen game design change and evolve. And looking into the most recent game, I kind of, as a gaming historian, kind of excited to see the direction things have moved to. Games these days value your time as a game master, as players, opting for quicker, simpler rules, things that aren't as complicated as they were back in the day, so that a game like, go back to like Roll Master, which isn't the most complicated game of all time, first edition Shadowrun, which also wasn't the most complicated, but things that some people really kind of had that impression that a percentile system with a couple extra tables, including a big bossy critical hit table, was really complicated. They, again, weren't the most complicated, but if you look at a modern game today, let's look at Shadow Dark, for instance. Shadow Dark, one mechanic. Roll 20-sided die, add a few small numbers, and see if it hits your target. That's it. That's the most complicated element of it. And that means that the interaction between Game Master and players is quick and light and responsive. The players come up with the pertinent things they want their characters to do, and they handle the mechanics quickly and easily. The Game Master adjudicates quickly and easily, and is able to move on throughout the encounters. That can be pretty ideal for a lot of people. Now, some people do long for a certain level of what we call crunch, which is the mechanical elements of a game. And that the lightweight games that we have and celebrate oftentimes don't have the kind of impact or gristle to them that can make it feel weighty. A role in combat in, say, well, most D&D versions, but we'll say Shadow Dark still, you roll a die, you hit or you miss, you move on. In terms of the reality of the game, your character grabs their weapon, whacks an opponent with it, or tries to whack an opponent with it, and over the course of the time, you might see a couple of swings and a couple of parries and blocks that your character does as you're trying to hurt your enemy in the span of a couple of seconds. And that's all assumed, that's all abstracted away. There's no cut and thrust. There is simply, do you hit? Do you strike damage this round, or do you not? Do you get hit yourself, or do you successfully block, parry, whatever? And how you defend yourself is just assumed. You're going to use the methods at hand. Do you have good armor? Are you going to rely on your armor to block blows for you? Yeah, you might do that. Are you quick and nimble? Would you then parry? Would you then put a shield between you and your opponents? That's all possible, but it's all assumed in the abstraction of the system being so simple. It's sacrificed upon the altar of simplicity. Whereas take a game like GURPS, or a game like a Savage Worlds, which is known for being a relatively lightweight game, look at the combat options. Look at all the different things you can do to interact with a given combat. Look at the bennies that you can spend to give yourself a boost and save yourself from a bad situation. Honestly, a game like Savage Worlds has enough crunch that a player might feel, I have a say in it. One round is different from another round. How I go about my business of participating in the game and this combat gives me options, gives me choice. And that's celebrated by a lot of people who are real fans and devotees of that game. It is something absolutely to be celebrated when you find the perfect level of crunch to abstraction that you have in a game that meets your needs and your desires. And again, in terms of recentness, I'll be honest, I haven't seen Daggerheart. Brand new, spanking new game. My game store can't even get or they don't get enough Shadow Dark, but they can't even get Daggerheart. It's just simply, okay, shipping being what it is a mess anyhow, but it's too new, too many people want it, and therefore only certain stores seem to get any. That's this kind of unfortunate, because I think that kind of stunts the outreach of that game, but it also increases the notoriety, increases the desire some people have. Even though I don't need another fantasy role-playing game, I admit I kind of want it. And that is not a recent thing. I mean, there's certainly been shortages on popular games in the past. Not everybody has the range of a game company like, Wizards of the Coast, backed by Hasbro, that can dump 100,000 product out on the market like that and not strain themselves all that hard. A smaller company like Darrington Press, reaching out through any number of distributors, yeah, that makes it challenging. That makes it tough. And in that difficulty, it means that if you really want to play the Daggerheart, well, be glad you live in the time and day that you are. Because you can go to DriveThruRPG. You can download it. Not as expensive as the book itself is, but you can have a digital copy you can carry with you wherever. That's pretty cool. And possibly the way I even might go about things. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. But like I said, I got enough games right now. But at some point, somebody's going to be interested in Daggerheart. They're going to want me to make a video on it. Or one of my players might want me to run it for us. And if they do, I hope they're willing to help burden the cost. Because, well, I'm not made out of money. I don't get a lot of games brand new, so, which does not stop me from getting games, by the way. Keep watching my videos and you'll see any number of books that I've got that still have labels from half-price books, etc., because I usually keep those on. I keep them as a reminder if I ever one day want to keep track of how much money I've spent on this hobby of mine and thoroughly break my spirit. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, by now, I don't know if I have enough to buy a whole new house, but it's definitely a full car, brand new car. Yeah. So, in various small installments. But, I mean, in terms of recent, there's nothing that suggests that this hobby is dying. There's nothing that tells me there's any real danger of role-playing games going away. Changing? Yes, that's inevitable. Nowadays, we have people playing on virtual tabletops. We have remote play. And it's becoming a bigger and bigger percentage of games that are played. And we kind of have to accept that. I don't love it. I love the idea of people getting into a place, making a commitment to each other to show up to a game regularly, and having a fantastic time together. But I'm not going to say there's no value in remote play. In fact, I have a game right now that runs on Zoom. We play together generally once a week. And it works. It's not ideal. I would rather have my friends here playing with me, but it's a way that we can do it, and I accept that. So, as far as the recent time of role-playing games, I mean, what can we look at for great events? We can have the missteps of 2023, where Wizards of the Coast tried their new OGL experience, and oh, was that a disaster. And, may have permanently soured my opinion of Wizards of the Coast and desire to support them. Nowadays, if I buy anything of their products, it's buying it secondhand, so they don't see a penny of it. I'll vote with my dollars, and I'll still be able to get their stuff because while having a huge glut of all these things that come out, that means a lot of things go into secondhand. So I can wait. I have no difficulty with that, and I'm utterly not interested in the 2024 D&D. So when they reprint things in support of that, just don't care. But I will say that there's a lot to be hopeful for. There's a lot of fantastic games coming out in Kickstarter. There's a lot of fantastic things coming through out of BackerKit. There's a lot of things that these game companies are making that are really live and vibrant and exciting. And I'm looking forward to taking the journey with you. So, if you want me to talk about anything in recent gaming, I am more than happy to do that. Maybe doing research, maybe picking up a new book to do some, little reading, help you with a new game, whatever you like. Leave in the comments. I'd be glad to hear about it. Of course, I hope that you enjoy this video, and I hope that you, like, subscribe, notify yourself when I make new videos, all the good things. But I really hope to see you again, because I'm going to keep doing this. We still got time yet on RPGaDay. So I hope that between that next video and now that I get to see you again, I hope that you, yes, you get a chance to roll some dice, play some games, have some fun, but stay safe out there, friends. Until that next time, farewell.